Welcome back. Now we'll discuss the second part of the engine lubrication system. Again, the learning objectives are same. The different types of engine lubrication systems and the second objective of the to understand the lubricants and additives. Now, again, we must have a question that what are the different types of lubrication systems used in the automobile engine. So these are the six type of lubrication system. We are discussing this in the last period also, that mist lubrication, petrol or mist lubrication system, splash lubrication system, pressure lubrication system, or full pressure lubrication system, or it might be called as a full pressure lubrication system. So up to this we have discussed. Now we'll discuss from the semi-pressure lubrication system. So what is semi-pressure lubrication system? Here, this semi-pressure lubrication system, it is a combination of the splash system and the pressure system. You can easily observe. Here, the pressure system is also used, where the pipelines are there, tubing is also there, but at some part here the oil is there, like a pan like shape is there, the oil is here. Now this oil is splashed with the help of this spool. It is splashed from here. So this is a combination of the splash system and pressure system. Some parts are lubricated by splash system and some parts are lubricated by pressure system. Means oil is splashed for the some parts, because in pressure lubrication system we need more system components, but here if the engine is of not more capacity, then we can use the splash lubrication system. Almost all four-stroke engines are lubricated by this system. In four-stroke engines are lubricated by this system, where we can take an example of the cars and the small utility vehicles. So this is about the semi-pressure. Semi-pressure means half pressure and half splash. Now here we have compared that what is splash lubrication system. Splash lubrication system in which scoop is there, which splashes the oil throughout the engine, the same diagram which I have shown in the splash lubrication system. Now here semi pressure lubrication system means here some part is lubricated with the help of pressure, some part is lubricated with the help of pressure, you can see, but these troughs are there, and in these troughs this scoop is there which splashes the oil. So this is semi pressure, in which there is a combination of uh, semi pressure, this splash system and this. Here you can observe that here splashing is taking place, but that is not because of this scoop type, what we can say scoop type shape, but here this lubrication is because of the pressurized oil, because for some part we need to supply oil, because this is a rotating part. So for this rotating part we can supply oil with the help by making a drills in this uh, section of the crank. So we have supplied the oil, but still some part needs more oil, or here the bearings are there, for this bearing we need more oil. So this type of spray will be generated, which gives oil like a splashing. But this is a full pressure lubrication system, wherein the uh, oil is supplied with the help of this oil pump. Oil strainer is used to separate the debris or the dust from the oil, and this oil pump will fully pressurize this oil and gives oil to each and every component of the engine. Here you can observe the camshaft and these cam bearings and all those things. And here now, how you can supply oil to internal side of the cylinder. So it is necessary to splash the oil from the internal. As the piston goes up, the oil will lubricate, oil will go up. As the piston comes down, the three rings which are installed on these, out of these two rings are performing to bring this oil downward side, so it removes, that is called scrubber ring. And third is the oil retaining ring. So scrubber ring and oil retaining ring always lubricate this movement of the piston, and from where the oil is supplied, the oil is supplied through this splashing, or we can say the pressurized pipes. The oil is supplied from the bottom side of the cylinder, piston, bottom side of the piston, to lubricate the cylinder. So on the dashboard, you can observe the oil pressure. Oil pressure gauge is installed in the dashboard where the driver is sitting. So you can always see there is oil pressure gauge. So this is the difference between the splash lubrication, semi-pressure lubrication, and full pressure lubrication. Now, as in the full pressure lubrication, I have noted there that there are two types of lubrication system. One is called wet sump lubrication system, and second is called dry sump lubrication. Wet we can understand. Sump lubrication. In this system of lubrication, engine parts are lubricated under pressure feed. It is same as good as the it is the second name of the pressure lubrication system. The oil is stored in the crankcase or a sump or a pan, is maintained at a certain level to ensure an adequate supply to the pump. This system is same as that of lubrication system, because here there should be always a supply to the pump. Otherwise, if suppose take an example that vehicle is moving on a hill. Now vehicle is tilted, so there might not be supply to the pump, because the oil has gone somewhere else from the sump. So this case should not be there. So this type of lubrication system is used in the vehicle where it is assured that the vehicles are moving on a straight road. So most of the vehicle, but here one thing we have to keep in mind, that in wet sump lubrication system we need to maintain a high level of oil supply, high level of oil supply. So some should be of greater capacity, oil sump should be of greater capacity. Now for such type of cases, a second system has been designed. It is called as dry sump lubrication system. The system in which lubricating oil is not kept in the oil sump. The oil is there, but it is not kept in the oil sump, is known as dry sump system. In this system, the oil is carried in a separate tank. Though we know that after lubricating all the components of the engine, the oil drips or it comes back to the oil sump. But from this oil sump, the oil is always pumped and it is kept, or it is carried in the separate tank. That's why it is called as dry sump lubrication system. I will explain it. Now see in this figure, here is the engine crankcase. Now above this the engine parts are there. Now after lubrication, all oil will return to this oil sump. Now from this oil sump you can from this oil sump, always this pump, this scavenging pump will always carry this oil or extract this oil, and it is stored in this supply tank. This is a supply tank. Again there are two pumps here. One is for this tank, which is called dry sump, because we are not maintaining any level in this sump. Just whatever the oil coming from the engine, we are always carrying this oil and always pumping this oil to fill this supply tank. Means this supply tank is always full of oil, whereas this tank is always dry, because we are extracting or we are pumping this oil from this dry to supply tank. From this supply tank we are supplying oil to the engine cooler, and then again to the pump, to the all parts of the engine. Means there are two tanks, one is dry sump and another is full tank. Now whatever the road is there, whether it is a hilly area, whether it is a steep gradient, whatever the movement of the vehicle, whether it is going downward or upward, always there is always oil available to for the lubrication. So because this tank is always kept full by lifting the oil from this dry to this tank. So this system is made to make assurance that there should be oil available for the lubrication, whatever may be the position of the vehicle. In dry sump lubrication system, there are two sumps installed in the system. One is dry and one is supply tank. Also, there are two pumps which supply oil to all components constantly with uninterrupted supply. So this is one pump, this is second pump. Out of the two pumps, one pump is always dry as all the oil from the sump is constantly drained out and filled to second pump. The function of this pump is to drain out the oil from this sump and fill this tank, so that at any condition there should be supply of oil to the engine components. Therefore, it is named as a dry sump lubrication system. This system is very useful for hilly area vehicles where there are steep gradients and vehicle has to climb hills. So this type of system is called as dry sump lubrication system. Whereas in the wet sump lubrication system, we are using only one pump, one filter, and one sump. Here two sumps, two pumps, and two filters. This is relief valve, which you have studied. You know it for the hydraulics and pneumatics. Now, what type of pumps are used in the oil lubrication engine lubrication system? Oil pumps in an internal combustion engine circulates engine oil under pressure to the rotating bearings, the sliding pistons, and camshaft of the engine. Generally, so many pumps can be used, but generally the gear pumps are major contributors. See how the gear pumps works. Gear pump works in this way. It takes the oil from one side, it traps the oil in the pockets, and it delivers on the other side. These are the positive displacement types of pumps. These never return this oil to the inlet section. They always deliver the oil. This is the cross section, this is the actual section. Gear pumps operates on the water wheel principle. They have two wheels to create a high pressure in the oil pan and injects the oil into the areas that needs lubrication. As the engine will be operating at high speeds, high pressure is required for the oil to reach all moving parts in the engine. These are the positive displacement type of pumps. That's why they create a high pressure in the oil. So this is oil pump. This is a rotary pump. This is similar to the gear pump, but only shape of the gears is changed. The basic principle of the rotary pump is the same as the gear pump. It is used to control the flow of oil into the engine by two rotating sprockets. You can observe the two rotating sprockets. The mechanism that pressurizes the oil and injects it into the system is slightly different. Slightly different means what they are doing. They are taking this is the inlet and this is the outlet. Whatever the oil taken from in the trap in this pocket, then it is again trap in this pocket. Here it is delivered by increasing the pressure. You know it. You might have studied all these components in your hydraulics and pneumatic subject. You know the positive displacement pump and rotary displacement pumps. So this is a pressure, what we can say, the relief valve which is installed in this pump. So this is about the pump, and the last pump is the Crescent pump. This is used for the high delivery. This is same internal gear pump, but it is used for the high delivery of where the delivery of the oil is required high. The basic principle is the same. Two rotating wheels build oil pressure near the delivery nozzle, and movements of the two wheels are in tandem as opposed to the uh, contrary wheel movements in the gear and rotary pumps. So this is Crescent. This type of Crescent is available. So this is inlet and this is the outlet of the pump. So inlet, and these are the pumps used in your system. So thanks for watching this video. I expect that you understood all these components. Thank you.